Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today I want to make a relaxing video where we laugh at Clown World. Now I want to rip the band-aid off and just sort of put some disclaimers here, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about fat phobia today, alright? Now to understand, I definitely do not support anybody bullying somebody for their weight, okay? I think that's low blows, and it's not something that I promote on my channel, nor do I ever want to promote that kind of behavior, okay? As somebody that, listen, I'm a chubby guy myself, all right? But there was a moment where I was a much heavier person. And generally through lifestyle changes, eating less, eating better, all right, getting out of the house, doing more physical activities, I tended to slim down a little bit. Obviously, I have a ways to go and I'm not perfect and I don't claim to be the beacon of health, but generally, it's made my mental health a lot better. It's definitely made my physical health a lot better. I can breathe a lot better. I can live a lot better. And it's generally something that I promote anybody to chase after, okay? If you feel like, if you feel like your quality of life is impacted because of your weight, I'm the first person to try and push you towards active, healthier lifestyles, okay? It is what it is, all right? If you're not, listen, if you're complaining about back problems in my age, okay, you should definitely change up your life, all right? That's all I'm saying. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to being, larger, obviously, there are people out there that are negative. They bully you. And, if you ever go to a public scenario like a gym, for instance, I'll go to one because I like swimming and I don't have a pool at my house. And even if I did, it's winter and it's terrible. So normally, when I'll go to a gym, and I'll see like a heavier person working there, nobody is bullying them. In fact, you're a complete asshole if you bully that person. I don't think bullying gets results. Especially, I think all it does is push already overweight people into being more overweight and chasing bad decisions. Generally, you want to be supportive, you want to provide help, and you want to link them to the right resources. That's all it comes down to, okay? Be supportive to your homies. That's all that it is. But one of the things that's interesting about the internet is this sort of like enabling behavior where it's like, hey, listen, guys, all right, let's turn being fat into an identity. Now, before we go into it, I just want to straight up saying, the weight that you are is not an identity. It is a medical description, okay? People who are underweight, people who are fat, you can change things around. And I know there's going to be that one person, but Buddha, what about genetics? Don't get me wrong, there are exceptions to every fucking rule on the planet. But generally, for most overweight people, as far as I've understood, there are ways you can change to better your lifestyle, okay? The catalyst for this entire rant, ladies and gentlemen, was obviously dumb takes on Twitter, which shouldn't shock anybody. Now, I'm going to blur names because I don't want anybody getting harassed, but generally what happened was there was this movie called The Whale with Brendan Fraser in it. Now, Brendan Fraser, from like the one frame you'll see out of this, played a character that's like 600 pounds, okay? Generally, they were overweight, they were huge. Some would say whalish, if you were to put it into better terms. But of course, obviously, Brendan Fraser is not that big. Now, clearly, Brendan Fraser won, like, the Academy Award for, like, Best Actor in, like, a movie or something. I don't follow the Academy Awards like crazy, nor did I watch this movie in particular. I'm just glad to see my boy Brendan Fraser getting something good in his life. He's had a pretty shitty last several years, so it's pretty great to see him succeed. Of course, Twitter being Twitter loves misery, okay? Misery-loving company. Of course, this one post was so disappointing that The Whale won the Oscar for Best Hair and Makeup. Fat suits are harmful. They are not your opportunity to win awards. Our identity is not your costume. Cast fat actors to play fat characters. Now, let's talk about the logistics of being overweight and filming. If you ever worked on a set, I have. You'll know that generally things can be very hot, there's lights everywhere, and it's a very high energy environment. Having somebody that is that overweight can pose a genuine health risk to themselves. Not just is it hard for people to be active in that environment, to film in that environment, but also getting insurance to have heavier people work in an environment like that can be dramatically higher, okay? It's just not a scenario that's necessarily built for, people that are not exactly healthy. And yes, somebody the size of Brendan Fraser's character in that movie, The Whale, would not be a healthy individual, okay? That is far excess of what a human body should be putting on themselves, okay? It's a massive toll you put onto your body, okay? Generally the idea I'm putting in. And of course, at the end of the day, it's not some identity. And I was about to understand what this person was going to say, but like Twitter and like social media, their takes become shittier and shittier. If it's already shitty, they double down onto it and make it even crappier than we began. No, they cast the best person actor for the role, somebody says. Sometimes it's not always the right size, so they use prosthetics. So of course this person's trying to like fucking understand what brain damage is like saying on the internet, which never goes well. So of course the response to that is, that's what they used to say about putting white actors in blackface. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you there's a pretty big difference from being fat and being a person of like color, right? Now look, when I was born, I never got to go to the character creator class, okay? I never got to open up the list and pick, ooh, here's which race I'm gonna be. Here's where I'm gonna be born. Let's see if I'm born on this server. Ooh, let me modify my body structure. You know, let's go to the penis section and increase the slider all the way to 100. Most people don't get the option of it. You don't get to choose your genetics. You don't get to choose your race, okay? You're kind of just born that way. If you're born an Indian guy like me, you're gonna stay an Indian guy forever, okay? If you're born a black person, you're gonna stay a black person. White person, you're gonna stay a white person. You get it, okay? These are things that cannot be changed. So again, all right, you shouldn't even be comparing blackface to like being fat. You can choose to try and lose weight, or you can choose to gain weight. A lot of these things do come down to your lifestyle choices. And then of course, you know, at this point, even brands decide to jump in, like Dove came in and said, stop giving fat suit awards. We want better representation in Hollywood. Now, of course, I genuinely think Hollywood is like a sinful place to be. Hollywood is genuinely one of the most worst places, but if it's one thing that I'm not going to shame Hollywood on is giving fat suit awards, okay? Nobody was giving the fat suit award. It's literally best makeup and hair. And honestly, for what the movie is, for how Brendan Fraser looked into it, I don't even think that's a bad award to give out. I don't even think that's a false award, or they gave it out to the wrong person. At the end of the day, all right, Dove, promoting these kind of lifestyles, or like not trying to push people into actively changing in a supportive and constructive way, is ultimately harmful. And I think Dove is just trying to chase like these brownie points and call it a day. Why a fucking soap brand decided to jump in and talk all this good shit made no sense to me in the first place. Again, though, that's just, it's just brand media being like brand media, okay? They have no idea what's going on, no concept of the situation. And so I'm gonna leave it right where it's at. Then, of course, we get into the mother of all shitty takes, okay? Now, this one comes into here. Once again, just a reminder that The Whale was written by, directed by, and produced by 4 thin, white, rich, able-bodied, cisgendered men, okay? Again, I have no idea what the race has to do with this. I don't even understand what their wealth has to do with this. I don't even understand what, like, who they're attracted to. What does cisgendered mean in this case, okay? What does their race, wealth, and sexual attraction mean? Again, you just added definitions to pad out this fucking bomb. Oh, and check out its fat star, who was celebrated and honored at the Oscars last night. What a joke! So, of course, they show Brendan Fraser looking, you know, pretty fit and healthy. Again, mad that they didn't cast somebody who was actually 600 pounds to play a 600-pound character. All without realizing that would have been pretty dangerous on set. So then, of course, they decided not just to, you know, double down, but triple, quadra down. The point I'm trying to make here is that other oppressed minorities have made it clear that it is not okay for the white, wealthy elite to write, direct, star in movies about them. This should apply to fat people too, as we are an oppressed minority. The film also won Best Makeup Hair. So again, I just want to straight up and say, okay, you are not some minority that's oppressed, all right? At the end of the day, this is the result of lifestyle choices that you have made, okay? A lot of it can be genetic, don't get me wrong. Being fat isn't just as simple as, oh, this person's eating a lot of food and not getting a lot of exercise. Some people genuinely have genetic disorders and issues, but I would consider that to be an exception rather than the norm. This person is trying to make it out like being larger and overweight is somehow equivalent to being a minority person. Like, I'm Indian, okay? I didn't get to choose being Indian. Not that I regret it, not that I care too much. It is who it is. This is my racial class, but I couldn't control it like I can control my weight. Look, years ago, I could choose to be at that super overweight issue where it could genuinely fuck up my body in the long term, or I could make decisions where, granted, I'm not super thin and I might not be the most fittest person at this moment, but I genuinely feel a lot healthier than what I once was. I can control that. I cannot control my actual, minority status. Are we able to wrap our heads around this one yet, folks? Someone won an Oscar for making Brendan Fraser a currently straight-sized man. What does that even mean? Straight-sized? What is straight-sized? Look, I had to look into this. I had to make sure I was not getting trolled and these were not parody accounts. They're not parody accounts. They're completely legitimate. They're unironically real, okay? This is a real statement. What does straight-sized even mean? All right, what are you doing? Like, what is that? What? It's not concave? What's going on? That person looks fat, okay? No one else finds this disturbing, FFS. Yeah, no one really finds it disturbing. Fat suits aren't exactly a new thing in the world of media. They hired him because he's a decent actor, and of course they wanted him to fit a certain look, so they changed his weight through the magic of filmmaking. The fat haters are out in numbers today. Imagine thinking you're so smart when all evidence suggests otherwise. What evidence? What was the evidence in this statement? What was the evidence in any of this? Waste your breath somewhere else. You're not getting the reaction you want out of me today. I don't think I'm really looking for a reaction as much as I'm looking for a reason to laugh my ass off, which I have, okay? All of this discourse has made me realize one thing, okay? When it comes to social media, there are just people that love being victims, okay? They love misery, love, and company. At the end of the day, I don't think bullying fat people and having fat phobia is good, okay? Like I said in the beginning of this, if you are somebody that is larger, I definitely always urge you in a constructive, positive manner to seek better adjustments to your life. It'll make you live longer and it'll make you live happier. But I'm never, ever going to sit here and acknowledge and endorse you to just sit there and let your body weaken and let your body suffer just for validation purposes, okay? I'm not bullying larger people is never okay. Bullying people for characteristics that they should change for the better is never okay. It's only going to reinforce bad activities and habits. But constructive criticism and support for your fellow man goes a long way. And that's something that I actively promote on this channel, always. So ladies and gentlemen, honestly, Twitter is the saddest place that I've ever seen. I wanted to laugh at some of these statements because, to be honest with you, it just makes me kind of cry at how stupid some people can goddamn be. I really don't have any faith in humanity at all. The very glimmers of hope that I have are completely eliminated out. But ladies and gentlemen, I still have a reason to get up every day, and it's hopefully to make you guys laugh and make you guys have a good time. So if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.